What is up, messengers? Welcome to episode 4 of our Freedom of Peace podcast. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Z.
And we're the head messengers of Masterpiece LLC, a positive lifestyle perspective, brand message, whatever.
It's
just energy that we're trying to put out. So, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you all for joining us again. So, in saying that, today, what we're going to talk about is tips, ideas, suggestions, things that we have implemented in our relationship and in our life that is helping us guard and protect our own peace, right?
And create it.
And yes, right? So we just kind of want to share what we've learned through our growth with this and just give you guys some, input, suggestions on what, could possibly help you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. No worries at all. So, all right.
This is just us expressing ourselves and, giving other perspectives.
Yes.
I guess unconventional perspectives of relationships.
Yeah. So what we starting with today, babe? So you want to start? You want me to start?
The whole peace thing itself to begin with. For me, peace is a position. It's not. People say it's a lifestyle. I got it, but it's a position that you constantly have to work for every day. You have to spend constant effort, consistent effort toward, creating a space of peace for yourself, whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically, all the above. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
I guess what we're talking about today kind of focuses on how we cultivate that area.
Yes, that's going to be the biggest thing for us. So, well, here we go. So you want to go first or you want me?
You can go ahead and go first.
Okay. So we were brainstorming some ideas, how to put this in words, things like that. So one of the things that we want to start with is your peace is predicated upon your environment, right? Mm-hmm. The environment you put yourself in, or sometimes you don't put yourself in it. It just so happens you're in it because of the activities you choose to do, your friends, your job, things like that. All right. So you have to make sure that the lifestyle and feelings that you're wanting, you have to make sure that what you're doing, right, the people you're associating with, is gonna bring that to you as well.
It's gonna reflect it.
Right. Yes. So, so just making sure that, that you're surrounding yourself with good people. You're surrounding yourself with positive people, in a positive environment, you know what I mean? And that you're
even the conversations, even how you interact with those people.
Yes.
It's almost like I tell people to just imitate what good energy is, because to yourself, because if you imitate it, the only person that's gonna know you're imitating is you. So
yes.
If you just present that energy as such, and from an innocent and very genuine space, I think you get positive energy and positive results in the environments you place yourself in. So, I can go on and on about that. It's like I said, it's a constant thing. It's something that's very consistent. If you want peace about yourself, you got to focus on it.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't have a pessimistic mindset or be negative or nothing like that. You gotta find peace in everything, or in other words, find God in everything and anything that you do. So, and
that in saying that also is the people that you associate yourself with, because a lot of times, and everybody knows that old saying, birds of a feather flock together. For a majority of the population, that's very true, because the majority of us, peer pressure, right? Whether it be actually doing physical things or whether it be a mindset you have, right? So if you're with a group of people and Prime example, if you're with a group of people and they're not really into working out, they're not really into eating healthy, they always want to go out and eat, they don't care about that kind of stuff, they, you know what I mean? And no fault of nobody's own, you know, but that's just how they are. They're just not really into it, they have no interest in it. Yep. And then you're the type of person, yes, you want to work out, you have, you know, the motivation to do it, you know, you're trying to eat healthier, you know, you're still at that point where you're not completely disciplined yet and you're still able to be swayed. If you surround yourself with those type of people and you're constantly hanging out with those type of people, then eventually you are going to do what they do.
They're going to convince you out of it.
They are. Trust us. We know, we've dealt with it all the time, and so have other people in our shoes, and they're along. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. That are along that path of bettering themselves in some type of way. You're going to run into that, and that is when you're going to have to make a conscious effort and be aware that I can't do this. Right. Like I can't do this anymore. What's going to be more important? Is it going to be your goals? Or is it going to be fitting in with those people, right? And you have to always remember, when you're with these type of people, okay, I'm specifically talking about like the friend aspect of, you know, the influences and stuff like that. When you're with these type of people, you have to really look at what are your goals and what are their goals. Right? Because if your goals is to, okay, I want to lose weight and I want to, you know, tone up, as people say, and I want to add more vegetables to my diet, right? And their goals are, I want to go out and party. I want to, I don't care about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They have like totally different goals, right? Automatically, you guys are not going to fit.
Tug of war. Somebody's going to win. Sometimes the fit friend wins.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But then you have to be very, very, sometimes they do, but majority of the time they don't.
The fit friend doesn't win in that situation.
No, unless the majority of the group is fitness, you know, is into fitness and health, and then you might have that one person that's not really into it. It's always going to be pretty much what the majority wants to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you just have to always keep that in mind, and I always tell my clients and stuff when they're like hanging out with a bunch of friends and they're wanting to eat better and they're asking me, okay, well, what do I do? I have to always tell them, okay, if you're hanging with friends and all they want to do is eat out, it's going to be very hard, and you're willing to do that with them all the time. It's going to be very hard for me to tell you what to do and you implement that in your lifestyle if you're always following the crowd.
Yeah, and that kind of segues us into like my next point, which would be the home space. So in a situation like the one she was just mentioning, you know, I'm going to be the headstrong person who just can't be convinced to do bad, because I've predicated my journey on my home space, the peace in my home space. And so the house for me always outweighs whatever influences or temptations are out there. So it's not hard for me to say, hey, look, I'm not going to eat that, or, you know, I mean, I'll be in those spaces, but it's not hard. I'm not tempted by most things. And that's because I'm doing it for the house, and I have things surrounding me at the house that support that mission. So, and those will always supersede the other outside stuff.
Yeah, and that's a great point, babe. Like, your home lifestyle and all of that, it's going to be super beneficial to have somebody there, or if you don't, like, make sure that your house is set up where it can benefit whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, it's functional.
I.e., if you know you're on a weight loss journey, then you should not have a pantry full of snacks, cakes, cookies, if you know that's going to go against what you're trying to do, right? You need to get rid of that stuff, right? So you're not tempting yourself. Because just like people can tempt you, the physical things can, you know, the cakes and cookies, that's an even bigger temptation. So why do you have it in your house if you're trying to go down, you know, a healthier path in life? That's what, you know, I'm thinking.
Right. But you know, going back to the whole peace space, like, it doesn't even have to be with the eating. Like she said, just anything you're in pursuit of, you want to have reminders of support of some sort. It doesn't even have to be with your diet. It could be, like, say for us, I mean, we are fitness oriented, I guess, but we like to work out. We buy gym equipment.
Yeah.
You see the rack right there. You know what I mean? So we make our house functional to where it's a space that caters toward the mission. And so you have to do that with the energy you share with the people in your house too. You got to make sure you're bringing home good energy that's gonna cultivate that environment and help you, further on your path.
Yes, I agree. Oh yeah, and another idea. If you're about, you're trying to find that inner peace and trying to, move towards more of that. There's a lot of things on TV that is not going to help you, right? If you love watching TV and you're a reality show junkie, let's just be honest, all right? Let's just be honest. Love and hip hop and all that kind of stuff. I know, man, that stuff be good sometimes. I understand, but is it really good for you? You see what I'm saying? It's entertaining, yeah, and they know what they're doing. But if you're on this journey to try to find this inner peace or trying to find peace and just in your all around life, it's going to be a lot of things you're going to have to sacrifice. Like Jerome and I, we don't even really have a TV. We have a TV here, but we really don't watch it at all. Mm-hmm. We used to watch TV all the time and realize how much of our time we're wasting sitting in front of the TV, just watching somebody else's lives.
Yep, when we could be building our own.
Yes.
Or,
and working on ourselves and our own inner peace and our own business and our relationship with each other. Like, there's so much. I mean, there's not saying there's anything wrong with sitting watching an episode here and there. It's when it turns into
binge watching. And on a schedule, and that's the only type of energy you're interacting with or you're engaged with is the drama.
Exactly.
And all those types of crime and mystery and stuff like that. Stuff that'll cause your energy trauma and you just don't realize it. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of times stuff will happen in an episode or something that'll make your heart drop or you feel for a character or whatever like that. You're constantly consuming grief and don't even know it. Negative energy and don't even know it because you're entertained by it for some reason. So I mean, like I said, I'm not judging. I mean, that was me. So
that was definitely us.
Like, hey, look, I have to be very, very conscious of where I put my energy and where I receive my energy from.
Yes.
So, in doing that, it kind of centers you toward the things that matter, which, I mean, for me, that segues me to my next point. What and who matters?
Boom.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I was told from a good friend of mine, Chris Pride, CP, he told me one time, I think, this is probably 10 years ago, and it was before I deployed. I think it was one of the last things he told me. He told me the only thing that matters are the people that matter. And that stuck with me. So I say that every day.
Yeah.
I remind myself every day, the only thing that matters are the people that matter. So in pursuit of something greater, like, in a pursuit of a greater you, I think you have to remind yourself of that constantly and trying to create that peace space. Like, look, the things that I do, if they don't matter, I can't really say I've done everything in my power to become whatever I'm in pursuit of, or to be whatever I'm in pursuit of. So you have to separate the what and who matters. You know what I mean? And really simplify your life. Right.
And again, and adding on to that, the only people that matter are the people that matter. So that's what we go by. So if that's the case as well, that has brought us a lot of peace, because now people, places, things, situations that don't matter, we're allowing it less and less to steal our peace, to steal our joy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the distractions like that. Like, why am I going to care what so-and-so, who I don't even really fool with like that, or I don't want to say like, I don't really associate with like that. You know what I mean? Somebody that doesn't have an impact on me in any type of way. Why would I allow them to steal my joy, my peace with what they have to say? If somebody doesn't agree with the masterpiece message, or doesn't care to hear it, or hasn't bought a piece of clothing since the day we started, it's okay. I'm not feeling no type of way, or, you know what I mean? I mean, that's their business.
Yeah, it's their experience.
Yeah, and we're not here to impact the world. Well, no, I don't want to say that. We are here to impact the world, but we're not here to change everybody's mind, and you have to do this, and you have to do masterpiece, and you have to, no.
It's a decision.
Yeah, and the feeling, if you hear what masterpiece is and you just don't vibe with it, so be it. You know what I mean? It's perfectly fine, you know? So I'm not going to let that completely like, oh, this one person doesn't agree, or this one person, like, for whatever issues and reasons, you know, this one person doesn't, you know, agree with what I think and all that kind of stuff, then it's okay. Moving on in life, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, it's a fact, I guess.
Yeah,
and,
it's their business.
Yeah, you gotta respect the facts. You can't dodge them, but you gotta respect them. That's for sure. And so, if you put your feelings out there in front, I mean, I always say that too. You know, gotta put the facts over the feelings, and so. And
that's actually a whole podcast within itself, I think. Because I was gonna tell you that, babe. I think that's a great idea for one.
Yeah.
So, So like. The only people that matter are the people that matter.
Yeah, have to remind yourself of that.
You have to. You have to make sure, right? So, and I guess with me, that segues into my next point. Your overall perspective on things, right? You're walking into a space, and he put it very good, that's supposed to bring you joy, but you're bringing that negative energy with you, whether it be from people that don't matter, situations that don't matter, job situation. If you're going into a place that you know, right, this place is supposed to give me joy, or I'm supposed to relieve my stress, or whatever the case may be, whether it be golf, whether it be the gym, like, you know, us, you know, it doesn't matter. If you're already walking into there with, oh, this is gonna suck, this is gonna hurt, or you know what I mean? Oh, you're still like completely just wrapped up in your day and not being like, okay, when I walk through these doors, this brings me joy. I'm gonna leave all of that stuff at the door, and when I go in here, I'm working all of that crap out, right? You have to learn how to do that. If you don't, then you're gonna make that activity negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
that's why workouts are great, because you get to work all that stuff out.
There you go. Yeah. So it's just like, and those people that they're like, well, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. How?
Excuse.
Yeah, that's a big excuse. How? You don't, whatever happened yesterday, you have to learn to leave that in the past. I'm not saying don't think about it, but don't let it overtake your entire day. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like he said, it's an excuse. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. No, you woke up. Thank you, God. Yeah. You woke up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Everything, you woke up is the main thing. You didn't wake up paralyzed. You know, like so many sicknesses and things that are going on in this world. You woke up healthy. Yeah. Be appreciative of that. Yeah. Don't worry about what so-and-so said yesterday. Who cares? That's none of your business. Move on, you know? And then that's the excuse that people use. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So immediately their whole day is tarnished, right? Now, every little thing is going to irritate them, right? Whether it come from like, you make your breakfast a certain way, but you woke up, you know, already in a bad attitude. So now, whatever, your breakfast didn't turn out right? So now you're angry about that, right? And you can't find your sock.
Passing on negative energy.
You can't find your sock.
And you're allowing it to define you.
There you go. Yeah,
you're
exactly.
It to define the rest of your day. You're allowing something that's in a moment that you can never get back to define your now. And that's a waste. Because like she said, I mean, you woke up. So if you woke up, you have the opportunity. If you have the opportunity, you can create blessings. If you can create blessings, you can, hey man, that's a victory. That's winning. Victory. So, I mean, the opportunity is huge. People just need to pay more attention to the fact that hey man, that's priceless. Just having the opportunity to be me in the now space right now.
Right now.
I have the opportunity to be my whole self right now. So I'm not going to take that away from myself by giving power to something that's already happened.
Right. So, I totally agree, babe. I
guess that brings me to my next point. You got to make yourself fully aware of the energy you bring from outside, from your job, from your, like she said, from your friends. You have to be fully aware.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, I've seen it happen many a time where somebody will go to their job, have a bad day at work, and bring that energy in their house, which is supposed to be their peace space, their sanctuary, where the people that matter are. and you bring that energy in there, and that energy festers. And like she said, just like waking up on the wrong side of the bed, you know, it just spirals after that. Like, you got to check that at the door. I mean, I had to learn to do it too. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I realized that is a huge aspect, you know what I mean, as far as like me becoming a better person, like not allowing outside influences to tamper with my relationships with the people that matter.
Right.
You know? I
totally agree. Not allowing outside influences to mess up what we have going. I'm talking about us specifically because we're in this situation. But I can't be concerned about bad attitudes, people that don't like me, or, things that I got stuck in traffic, things like that. And then I come walking through the door and, I have a look on my face, which he has had to check me on a lot because and a lot of times nothing is wrong with me. I'll just have a look on my face. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Y'all know what that is, right? RBF, right?
Yeah.
And I am trying to make... But see, and that's a perfect example though, right? Nothing is wrong with me. I have RBF face, right? And he doesn't understand. He doesn't know that there's nothing wrong with me. So I'm walking in the house with that energy, mm-hmm. right? So now immediately, like, it's like, okay, well, what's going on?
Because she's my teammate. And so,
right.
And I think in a relationship, you always read the person. Like, as soon as they present themselves, you always kind of read them. You know what I mean? Because you care about them. You can't stop caring. I can't turn that off. So, I mean, if I'm concerned or if there's something that alarms me with her, of course, I want to know what it is because I'm a solution-based person. And I'm, you know what I mean? I just want to get it out the way so I can see those teeth again. Let me see them. Come on, see the teeth.
Man.
Exactly. See, and that's another thing. Like, I make sure, and she wasn't even aware of it. I make certain that I make her laugh every day. Make certain. And she was like, and I brought it to her attention one day. I said, "You realize I make you laugh every day, right?" She's like, "No, you don't." I was like, "Yeah, I do."
And then he started counting.
I started counting every day. Every time I made her laugh, boom, I just count. And it got to the point where she didn't even care about me counting anymore because she realized, like, dang. And I think fellas, do it because that's consistency.
And it shows he cared. Yeah. He wanted to do whatever he could to make me laugh. Right? That's good energy right there. Yep. And then that brings peace in the house.
Yep.
Just a little thing, something little like that where you think, oh, that's nothing. Just a little act of showing that you care brought peace into our house and even more peace in our relationship.
Yep.
Right? That's why we're able...
You can build on peace a whole lot better
than
you can build
on
trauma
it.
And strife and conflict.
Like, yes.
Me and her be having conflict. For what?
Yeah, for what?
What would be the purpose of this relationship?
Right.
You know? So
the relationship is supposed to ultimately bring you peace, you know? And if you find yourself that you're trying and the other person is not, whether it be your spouse, a friend, a coworker, whatever, right? We're just talking about in general, right? And if you find that it's just not working, then you have to also learn how to cut things out of your life, right? That are not helping you find your peace.
Seriously.
So cutting toxic people off, toxic situations, toxic relationships, you're going to have to cut them out and just really just be like, you know what? Is it worth it?
That's the protecting part.
Is it worth it? Yeah. Protecting your peace. Like, because without it, look, we see what's happening, what's going on in this world, right? There's no peace. Yeah. Like, people are, you know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know.
We got to realize that when people are at peace and when everybody's on their own natural spiritual accord, right? And everybody's in a place where they're consumed with becoming, I guess, because that's, when you're at peace, that's, it's just a constant thing. So when you're consumed with that, you stay out of everybody's way just naturally. Like, you're not going to get in anybody's way when you're focused on peace, when you have a job to protect your peace. Like, you're not going to be colliding with all these different attitudes and feelings that, you know what I mean, that may be getting thrown around in a negative light. So, it's simple, but it's so complex at the same time. I do get it. I'm not perfect. I've been a hellion too. So
yeah, we both have. And we're not even there yet.
I do have a past. It's just speaking on it now and looking at it. it's a lot more simple than I thought.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and that's what it is. It's just really just simplifying your life to where your peace is always easily accessible. Like I'm never too far away from something that matters to me.
Yes.
That's just it. I'm always around something that matters, or something that can help me build for what matters, or build for who matters. You know what I mean? I'm always placing myself around that, so I'm never really distracted from it.
Right.
So, I mean, and another thing about that is, like, even if you're not in a relationship, which that brings you to my next point. Even if you're not in a relationship, you have to learn how to be good company to yourself first.
Ooh, yes.
If in order to bring your best self to a situation, you have to learn how to be good company to yourself. Before you can be anything for anybody else, you have to learn how to be good to you. That's just it. And I mean, a lot of people say you got to be your whole self beforehand. It's not even that you're your whole self. It's just you have to be aware of who you are, like, and what you can bring to the now, and in a positive light, and perform those things.
Right. That's perfect. Like, simply put, like, if you don't love yourself, how do you love somebody else? Right. So if you don't have peace within yourself, how are you going to bring peace out? You know what I mean? To other people, to your situations. Yeah. You know, how are you going to be able to identify and be like, look, in this situation, I need to remove this person to get my inner peace or whatever. You have to be able to be with yourself and find that within yourself first. And a lot of times people can't do that. The number one thing they can't do that, they can't be with themselves. Mm-hmm. They can't sit down and just have moments of silence with themselves. They always have to be distracted. Loud noise, phones, TV shows, like just sitting in peace, sitting in silence and learning to be one with yourself. You know what I mean? And we're working on that too. Like I said, I'm really trying to just learn how to be with myself and just be quiet, right? Because you're not going to find peace in loud noise and distractions and this and that. It's just not going to come. That's not where you find your peace from. Your peace comes from within, and it comes from the quietness. If you can be with yourself, you will be able to find peace, or being able to identify how to come across peace outside of yourself. So yeah, I totally agree with that, babe. That was great. That was a great point.
Yeah, being at peace with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, it's huge. That is a defining factor. Like knowing who you are for the world around you, and you know what I mean, and just trying to be greater. So I think those long, hard discussions, like those tough talks, that's what brings, you know what I mean, her and I together, because we don't run from those because they're not tough. When you're both coming from a space of peace, tough talks aren't tough. They're like regular conversations to us. Like, so that's why a lot of people will ask, you know, like, how do we get to where we are? And it's because there's no tough talks. Right. We easily communicate with each other because we both understand fully that we're coming from a space of love and peace, and we never doubt that. And if one of us happens to act like we want to doubt it, we're, hey, look.
Yeah.
I'm your teammate.
Each other. Yeah. I'm not your enemy.
I'm not your enemy.
Right.
Like, we both do that. You know what I mean? Like you said, we're not perfect, but that's that consistent effort. It's a constant thing. You know what I mean? And that's why most people say it's a lifestyle, because like, you have to really live it. You have to really, you know, have an intent toward having that space around you.
You do. I 100% agree. 100%. It's that constant effort. Like, it's not a inconsistency. It's not a one-time thing. Oh, we're gonna do this, or I'm gonna try to, do this for peace, and then it should happen. No. Where's the peace? It should, you know what I mean? That's not how it comes. Like, you have to understand, this is a long process.
It's a life.
Yeah, it's a life. And
you gonna live or exist.
Yes, exactly. You gonna live it, or you're just gonna be here existing, right? So, yeah, saying that is, you have to, it's constantly working, constantly growing towards it, just constantly giving that effort to try to attain it. If you really want it, you can get it. It's just, and there's gonna be a lot of distractions on the way, but it's possible. So
Yeah, very possible, and you're powerful enough to do it.
Yes.
So just remind yourself of that every day. Have those talks in the mirror if need be before you take yourself out to the people that matter.
Affirmations.
And yeah, whatever it takes. Just fight for you though. Just remember that. So I think that's a great way to end it, babe. What you think?
I do too.
4 down. Till next time, people. Together we win.
Together we win.